Hello. Today we'll be reading this article, The AI Grift That Can Literally Poison You When AI Comes from Mushroom Foragers by Constance Grady. 6 months ago, I spoke with a man named Elan Tribuck about a problem he was seeing online. He kept coming across different ebooks about mushroom foraging that looked off somehow. Off as in maybe poisonous. The books were shorter than most foraging guides were, and way, way cheaper, says Tribuck. He's a software engineer and a voluntary secretary for the New York Mycological Society, a nonprofit devoted to spreading knowledge, love, and appreciation of fungi. He knows mushrooms and he knows AI, and he thought the covers of these books were probably AI generated. They had mushroom structures that don't quite make sense, said Strybuck. They were the mycological equivalent of a picture of a hot blonde with 6 fingers and too many teeth. Most disturbing was the information inside. Most disturbing was the information inside the books was totally wrong. They aren't even giving you descriptions of real mushrooms. They're giving you something completely made up, Tribuck says. Any readers looking to try to use these books to figure out which mushrooms were safe to eat and which weren't would be out of luck. Which to Tribuck was seriously concerning. It could literally mean life or death if you eat the wrong mushroom, he says. The problem of very low quality, very low priced, probably at least partially AI generated ebooks is not confined to mushroom foraging. Garbage ebooks have been a problem on Amazon for at least a decade. But not unlike many strains of fungi, they've exploded over the last few years. I spent months investigating the shadowy economy where they're produced, and what I learned took me by surprise. Inside the scammy world of garbage ebook publishing. Garbage ebooks are all over Amazon's Kindle store on every topic. Searching for Jonathan Haidt's best selling new book, The Anxious Generation, I found Jonathan Haidt, the biography of Jonathan David Haidt, Navigating Morality and Policy, a juicer guide to the happiness hypothesis by Jonathan Haidt, Finding Modern Truth in Ancient Wisdom, and The Jonathan Haidt Story, exploring the life and work of a renowned social psychologist, author, and advocate. None of these books None of these are actually books so much as book-shaped digital files, designed to be picked up in keyword searches and get clicked on in a hurry by someone a tiny bit distracted or not digitally savage enough to notice what they're doing. This kind of grift has been around for a while. Now, with the rise of large language models, garbage ebooks have become easier and cheaper than ever to make. Garbage book grifters often don't use AI to write their books, but they do use it to pick a topic and build an outline. Then they give the outline to a wildly underpaid ghostwriter to flesh it out into something that will pass muster as a real book. The model is a dangerously inviting prospect for anyone who's ever toyed with the idea of publishing a book but doesn't actually want to write one. It turns out, though, that the people who make garbage ebooks mostly lose money. The real cash seems to come from the people who teach others the garbage ebook scheme. Wow, it's Hustlers University, huh? These teachers claim they've shared the key to a life of passive income, but their students say all their courses offer is demands for more and more money with the ever deferred promise to teach you the real secrets to easy money once you've paid just a few thousand more dollars. Each of these grifters are not the real villains. They are often small time operators, working one level of a very big grift industry. The grift is that technology and retail platforms have incentivized a race to the bottom when it comes to selling books. They've built an ecosystem where all the incentives are to sell at high volume and low cost. In book production, the biggest cost saving and time saving measure you can take is cutting out the labor of writing the actual book. Together, without ever caring enough about the issue to deliberately try to do so, these corporations have built a landscape in which it's hard to trust what you read and hard to sell what you write. In the end, everyone loses. The would be writers getting grifted in a fake publishing school, the real writers whose products are getting choked out of the marketplace by floods of cheap garbage, and the readers who just want to be able to write a book without having to check to make sure the author isn't a robot. I asked Ellen Tribuck if he thought anyone was buying all those fake mushroom foraging guides. Yeah, he said. I mean, there's a sucker born every minute. Read the full. Do I want to read? Yeah, let's read the full article. Yeah. If it decides to open. I mean, they said this about the gold rush too, right? It's not the miners who make the money, it's the people selling the. What's it called? Pickaxes. Amazon is filled with garbage ebooks. Here's how they get made. It's partly AI, partly a get rich quick scheme, and entirely bad for confused consumers. Again by Constance Grady. So, if you're a millennial, you may remember that specific moment in time around the late 2000s when streaming technology had just gotten good, but there weren't that many legitimate streaming platforms available yet. So if you were a student without a TV and you wanted to watch a show, you would go to a website that aggregated lists of illegal streams. Just use Pirate Bay. It would be covered in banner ads and auto-playing video ads decorated with little play button arrows. And in order to watch your show, you would have to solve the puzzle of figuring out which play button to click that would actually get you to your show instead of spiriting you away to a website that sold upsetting porn or amateurish video games. It could be done, but you had to be paying attention. And you had to have the barest modicum of web savvy to do it right. Right now, navigating the ebook and audiobook marketplaces is like being back on those sites. There are 1,000 banner ads larded with keywords, and they're all trying to get your clicks. Take, for example, the tech journalist Kara Swisher's Burn book came out this February. When this book came out this February. What year is this article from? Oh, it's very recent. Only a month old. Right now, navigating the They all had a host of other books hit the Kindle store along with Kara Swisher's Burn book. They all had bizarre search engine optimization streamlined titles, like those new businesses that are named Plumbing Near Me to game the Google algorithm. Interesting. This also looks like an interesting article. I found Kara Swisher, Silicon Valley's Bulldog, and Kara Swisher book, How She Became Silicon Valley's Most Influential Journalist, and Kara Swisher biography, Unraveling the Life and Legacy, by a guy who wrote 4 autobiographies this month, said Ben Smith when he interviewed Swisher for Semaforum. Swisher was less than flattered by the biographies. I wrote Andy Jassy, the CEO of Amazon, and I said, "You're stealing my IP. What is going on?" she told Smith. Disclosure, Swisher works for Vox Media. Okay. Here is almost certainly what was going on. Kara Swisher book started trending on the Kindle storefront as buzz built up for Swisher's book. Keyword scrapers that exist for the sole purpose of finding such search terms delivered the phrase Kara Swisher book to the so-called biographer, who used a combination of AI and crimes against humanity level cheap ghostwriters to generate a series of books they could possibly title and sell using her name. The biographer in question was just one in a vast hidden ecosystem centered on the production and distribution of very cheap, low quality ebooks about increasingly esoteric subjects. Many of them gleefully share misinformation or repackage basic facts from WikiHow behind a title that's been search engine optimized to hell and back again. Some of them even steal the names of well established existing authors, and it links to I would rather see my books pirated by someone, and masquerade as new releases from those writers. Okay, just out of curiosity, what is this? Jane Friedman says, I would rather see my books pirated than this. Or why Goodreads and Amazon are becoming dumpster fires. Interesting. One day I'll read this one too. According to the Authors Guild, it would be impossible for anyone but Amazon to quantify these books, and that's not information Amazon is sharing. All of this means that to buy the book you want, to buy Kara Swisher's Burn book instead of Kara Swisher book, How She Became Silicon Valley's Most Influential Journalist, you have to know what you're doing and pay a modicum of attention to your purchase. Who wants to do that? Especially in a marketplace like Amazon, where we are trained to buy quickly and thoughtlessly with a single click, and where writers have been trained to send their wares without even thinking about it, because where else are you going to sell an ebook? It's so difficult for most authors to make a living for their writing that we sometimes lose track of how much money there is to be made from books. If only we could save costs on the laborious, time-consuming process of writing them. The internet, though, has always been a safe harbor for those with plans to innovate that pesky writing part out of the actual book publishing. On the internet, it's possible to copy text from one platform and paste it into another seamlessly, to share text files, to build vast databases of stolen books. Oh, now you're saying, wait, AI Meta Llama pirated books. Okay. If you wanted to design a place specifically to pirate and sleazily monetize books, it would be hard to do better than the internet as it has long existed. Now, generative AI has made it possible to create cover images, outlines, and even text at the click of a button. If, as they used to say, everyone has a book in them, AI has created a world where tech utopianists dream openly about excising the human part of writing a book. Any amount of artistry or craft, or even the sheer effort, and replacing it with machine-generated streams of text, as though putting in the labor of writing a book is a sucker's game, as though caring whether or not what you're reading is nonsense is only for elitists. The future is now, and it is filled with trash books that no one bothered to really write, and that certainly no one wants to read. The sadder part about it, though, is that most garbage ebooks don't actually make that much money either. It's even possible to lose money generating your low-quality ebook to sell on Kindle for 99 cents. The way people make money these days is by teaching students the process of making a garbage ebook. It's grift and garbage all the way down, and people who ultimately lose out are the readers and writers who love books. None of this is happening through any willful malice per se on the part of the platforms that now run publishing and bookselling. It's happening because the platforms are set up to incentivize everything to cost as little as possible, even if it's garbage. In a statement, Amazon spokesperson Ashley Vanisek said, "We aim to provide the best possible shopping, reading, and publishing experience, and we are constantly evaluating developments that impact that experience, which includes the rapid evolution and expansion of generative AI tools. Yet, the garbage books predate the problem of AI. Here's how they get made in the first place. The scammy underbelly of online self-publishing. These days, the trash ebook publishing landscape is fully saturated with grifters. There are blogs that talk about the industry, but they tend to be clickbait sites riddled with search engine optimized keywords and affiliate links back and forth between each other. Virtually every single part of the self publishing grift world that can be automated or monetized has been automated and monetized. If you look a few years back, however, you will find a very different landscape. In the years of the early 2010s, lots of people were excited about making money with trash ebooks and trash audiobooks, but they weren't all trying to scam one another on top of their eventual readers. They wrote real blogs about the process of the grift with their real human voices. They distinguished between schemes that were white hat, following the rules, and black hat, violating some terms of service. They compared strategies and the teachers of strategies. According to the blogs of the era, one of the most infamous teachers was a man who went by Luca the Stefani, or Big Luca. That's funny. Gangster. Huh? Legend has it that he held the world record for making the most money using Kindle publishing in a single day. Oh my god. What set Big Luca's self-publishing revolution? This reminds me of that one, I don't know, pickup artist or something who was like, how many kisses do you have? I have 8,000. That's what this sounds like. What sets Big Luca's self-publishing revolution course apart from the rest? Big Luca's Black Hat Breadwinner video lesson, per one review, was that he gave his students access to a secret Facebook group where publishers organized to review swaps and buys. Self-publishers organized review swaps and buys. For the self-publishing grift, good reviews are crucial. The more 5-star reviews a book has, the more likely Amazon's algorithm is to push it towards readers. If you're mostly publishing trash books, you're not going to get tons of 5-star reviews organically. Big Luca's Facebook group give grifters a place to swap 5-star reviews or sell 5-star reviews for 99 cents a pop. As far as Amazon's algorithm was concerned, there was no difference between that kind of review and the one a reader might leave. The results were extremely lucrative. Luca didn't invent this formula, he learned it from the OG self-publishing grift course K Money Mastery, now apparently defunct, where he excelled. Eventually, Big Luca had wrung all the money he could from the self-publishing hustle. He climbed up onto the next level of the pyramid and became a teacher, and in 2016, the lore goes, a man named Christian Mickelson enrolled in Big Luca's self-publishing revolution. The Mickelson twins are named Christian and Rasmus, and they are 28 years old. They have dark blonde hair and blue eyes and meticulously groomed facial hair, and they always seem to be posting to Instagram from luxurious private pools that are also somehow exotic beaches. What? They have managed, in what must be fairly acknowledged as a feat of branding wizardry, to hold on to the domain publishing.com, and there they peddle their wares, a course they say can help students make a lifetime of easy cash off the revenue of books that they don't even have to bother to write themselves. That's what publishing.com is right now, I guess. If they happen to land a student who wants to write a book in good faith and just doesn't understand how to sell their book on their own, well, they're happy to take their money too. According to a profile in Inc. I think Inc. is a magazine. Yeah, it is. Christian found his way into the self-publishing world by Googling how to make money online. His first book was a brief ebook titled How to Be a 4.0 Student in College, like me. Big Luca's method apparently served him well enough that he thought it would be worthwhile to bring his twin Rasmus into the fold. Together, the Mickelsons published trash book after trash book, guides to keto and sex and crystals. Then they started running their manuscripts through Google Translate to start selling foreign language editions, an innovation on the old Grift that pumped their income into six figures and, after a few months, got Amazon to block their publishing account. The time had come, as Inc. would put it, to do what entrepreneurs do: pivot. They started a YouTube channel so they could teach the business of self publishing to anyone else who wanted to learn. 6 months and 1,000 subscribers later, they launched their first paywalled online course. First, it was called Audiobook Impact Academy. Then it was Publishing Life. Now, with AI as an ever more fashionable buzzword, it's AI Publishing Company. AI Publishing Academy. It's always more or less the same method, with a few new tweaks in every iteration. But the method doesn't change as much as you might think. How the garbage books get made. A case study. If you want to take the Mickelson course, the first thing you do is sit through their sales pitch. It runs for 2 hours. And it's just a video of Christian sitting in a dark room, drinking thirstily from a water bottle as he shows you screen caps of his students' royalty checks and repeats that he is already rich. He doesn't have to show you how to make this kind of money. He's just doing it for fun. Christian's offer is, he says, unbeatable. He will show you how to produce a book without having to write it. What used to be the hardest part in the process, which was creating that book that you upload onto Amazon, is now the easiest part and the most fun. Christian explains, because AI can help do that for you. Specifically, AI will write your outline for you. The twins feel that the quality isn't there on purely AI-generated books yet. They demand better for their readers than AI prose. Still, they say that using AI to outline saves their students weeks of researching their own manuscripts. Oh no. That AI is part of, but not central to, the process is a helpful talking point for the Mickelsons as Amazon strengthens its regulations against purely AI-generated text for sale. Last year, we began requiring all publishers using our Kindle Direct publishing service to provide information about whether their content is AI-generated and further reduce the total numbers of titles that can be published in a day, said Amazon spokesperson Vanacek. They added that they have a robust set of methods to detect content that violates their guidelines, and they regularly remove those books and sometimes suspend the publishing accounts of repeat offenders. The thought of human creativity being overshadowed by robots isn't exactly the prettiest picture, Christian wrote in a suspiciously ChatGPT sounding blog post in March. But we're here to set the record straight. There are 2 camps of AI use out there: AI generated and AI assisted. They are completely different. In April, however, when is this article from? It's also from April. Okay, so which April is she talking about now? In April, however, the Mickelsons announced that they were preparing to launch a new proprietary AI program, Publishing.ai, that they promise will write a manuscript for you. So much faster than a ghostwriter. Oy, oy, oy. Under the Mickelson model, you also don't have to pick your own topic. They give you access to keyword scrapers that have pulled trending books topics of Amazon and Kindle and Audible. And once AI is finished with your outline, you can send it over to a ghostwriter to turn it into a book for a mere $500. For a 30,000 word book, that works out to a fee of 0.016 cents per word. The Mickelsons work with a ghostwriting company developed by 2 former students. There, Ghostwriters get hired on a freelance basis and are kept anonymous. Once you have your Once you have your manuscript, Christian promises, the twins will show you how to hire audiobook narrators for a flat $20 fee by haggling their prices down. You know, this kind of reminds me of the Amazon grocery store they had, where you walk in and buy whatever you want, and it just you don't need you don't need a cashier, and you don't need to scan your items. It's all done by cameras and sensors and detectors automatically, until of course we found out that it's just a bunch of workers in India that are probably underpaid, that are watching the cameras and making sure that the correct things are happening. Kind of sounds like that over here, you know? Once you have your manuscript, Christian promises, the twins will show you how to hire audiobook narrators for a flat $20 fee by haggling their prices down. They'll introduce you to a network of people who are generous with their 5-star ratings and will push your book up the algorithmic Amazon rankings for you. All you have to do is sit back and collect your royalty checks as you rake in month after month of passive income. As Christian talks, he seems to cast a hypnotic spell. You start to wonder, am I stupid for not having invested in the ebook publishing before now? You see 5-star check after 5-figure check. 5-figure check after 5-figure check. A ticking clock turns on. Christian wants to give you a special rate for the course. The course is worth $15,500 US dollars. The regular price is $6,000, but he's willing to give it to you for just $1,995. That's $1,995, as long as you're one of the first people to sign up after the webinar ends. But it's not a live webinar. That doesn't make sense. Okay. None of what the Mickelsons are describing here is illegal. But if you know the norms of publishing, you know it's unethical. Some would say unethical and illegal are the same thing. Those people are stupid. As documentarian Dan Olson lays out in a lengthy 2022 deep dive into the Mickelsons. Who's documentarian Dan? It's a YouTube video. 1 hour, so 15-minute long YouTube video by Folding Ideas. Interesting. Their method of publishing, the Mickelsons' method of publishing, means developing a book you're probably not qualified to write. It used to mean paying a ghostwriter starvation-level wages to churn out a manuscript. Now it means you're creating a book likely riddled with misinformation and minimal means of correcting it. It means deceiving readers with fake reviews. That one can get kicked off of Amazon if you get caught. If you aren't versed in the publishing industry standards, however, the Mickelson model can seem incredibly attractive. I was like, yup, this would be great. I was totally vibing with it because Jennifer, whose name has been changed to protect her privacy, a 37-year-old in Virginia who signed up for the twins course in September. She had recently written and self-published her own book on Amazon. Hey, good for her. But she wasn't sure what to do to start promoting it. The twins' sales pitch struck her as the perfect solution. She could provide her ideas. People who were good with words could rewrite her draft and polish the whole thing up into a sales-ready package, and everyone would get paid. I was like, okay, I'm ready to invest and make this a better thing. It was a very efficient, friendly, interactive webinar, recalls Cecilia, also not a real name, a Seattle-based 50-year-old who works in the health space. She signed up for the twins seminar in September, and she remembers being pleasantly won over by that 2-hour sales pitch. It seemed to be so transparent. It promoted trustworthiness, she says. Once Jennifer and Cecilia had turned over their money for the course, both of them changed their minds fast. I started listening to the modules, Jennifer says. Also, I don't know how else to describe them. Long, excessive pause. But as a jet stream of bullshit. All it does is tell you to buy different products, Jennifer recalls of the Mickelson course. It's like there's nothing that they actually provide themselves other than go buy other people's products. And I'm sure they own those too, right? We can't confirm that the Mickelsons do own the products they recommend, but the ghostwriting company they work with is run by former Mickelson students. The word students, I don't know how I feel about the word students here. The course cost $2,000, but that wasn't enough. Ha! It's actually $19.95. To get the Mickelson approved topic for your book, you have to pay access to the software that analyzed Amazon keywords to tell you what was trending. To create the perfect outline, you had to pay for access to the AI that outlined and drafted the book for you. You had to pay for the cover design and for the reviewers. Oh, cover design you can do for free, no? Surely. The $2,000 fee was supposed to... Oh, but this is back then. It's not now. Okay. The $2,000 fee was supposed to guarantee you frequent one-on-one calls with a publishing coach. But the coaching calls were mostly about upselling to the premium $7,800 course, Jennifer told us. After a few weeks of phone calls, Cecilia decided she had had enough of the program and asked for her money back. She didn't expect it would be a problem since the course was advertised as fully refundable. Customer service reps then told her that to qualify for a refund, she had to prove she'd sat through the whole course, published a book, and failed to make her money back. She says she had to threaten to call the Attorney General before they sent her money back without such proof. Jennifer wrote off her $2,000 as the cost of learning a bad lesson, but she wanted to warn other people against making the same mistake. She posted a negative review of publishing.com on the user review site Trustpilot, where it has a 4.7 rating. That's good, I guess. So did Cecilia. So don't trust Trustpilot. Both of them found their reviews queried by Trustpilot. Wait, what? Which required them to submit proof of going through the course in order to keep their reviews up. Why, is this also owned by them? Like, funny that they do the same thing. Most of the course's 5-star reviews, however, remain unverified. Of course they do. I reached out to some of the 5-star Trustpilot reviewers to get their take on the Mickelson's course, but I never heard back from any of them. Probably because a lot of them aren't real. After the Mickelson's course got big, the rumors on Reddit say Big Luca was furious that they ripped off his business model. He used to brag that he was going to drag them into court. Instead, he got out of the self-publishing game. Now he runs a program called Big Luca International. Or more informally, School for the Rich, self-described as the world's leading company in online marketing training. Oh no. It's supposed to teach you how to monetize any online business. The self-publishing black hat breadwinning tricks extrapolated to all the other industries of the internet. With the advent of AI, it's easier than ever to flood the whole digital ecosystem with trash in pursuit of passive income. The never-ending grift. It sucks that I did this, Jennifer says of her experience at AI Publishing Academy. But I mean, it's put some fire under my ass to do it myself for my own book. Jennifer didn't set out to make a quick buck with a garbage ebook. She did the work of writing a book because she believed in it. The Mickelsons got her because she couldn't figure out how to sell her book on her own. And part of the reason she couldn't sell it is because the marketplace is already so flooded with books, many of which are trash. The Mickelsons are not the chief villains of this story. They are small time operators working one level of a very big grift industry. The grift is that technology and retail platforms have incentivized a race to the bottom when it comes to selling books. Together, without ever caring enough about the issue to deliberately try to do so, they have built a landscape in which it's hard to trust what you read and hard to sell what you write. Have you noticed all the memes lately have been AI voice with like GTA gameplay or like Subway Surfers or some nonsense like that? Isn't that kind of similar to this? The incentives of the modern book selling economy for writers are to keep your costs low. Are to keep your costs low, 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 and your volume high, 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 and definitely put your book on Amazon because where else are you going to sell an ebook? The incentive of the modern book buying economy for readers is to go onto Amazon and lazily click around with a few search terms and then buy the first book that looks right with a single click of a button. The incentives are, in other words, driving us all straight into a flood of garbage. That's what the group does. It finds every spot in the process of making and selling a book that is inconvenient or laborious, and it exploits those spots. It exploits our cultural belief that books are meaningful, that writing a book is a valuable act, that reading a book will enrich your life. When it's finished, you're left with something that's not a real book, but a book-shaped digital file with nothing of any use to anyone at all. Yeah.